Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Monday, August 17th, 2009. This morning I thought I'd take a look at some of the examples that ship with Web Velocity. To find those, let's go up here to repositories once you've started out and connect to the Web Velocity community repository. And that'll come in every copy of Web Velocity that ships. You have access to this, so you just click that. You find a bunch of things that some people have published in here from Syncom, but down here below you find all these things, WV example, whatever. Let's go to this one first, WV example to-do. There is a to-do application that is a standard Seaside example. This is kind of a Web Velocity version of that. So we're going to load that from this repository. And now what we're going to do is come up here and take a look at it. So let's browse in. And the thing you've got to do is you've got to hook up the database. Let me go to the schema and show you what I'm talking about. We'll go to the schema, and you see if I go to source code, you see I've got my tables defined, but of course I don't have my database defined. So if I go back out to the top, I need to go to my database, it's red, and I need to tell it what I'm using. So I'm going to use Postgres, and this is what you will have to do when you load any of these examples that use a database. You have to tell it what the database you're using is. So here I'm going to type in this stuff here. And now I'm going to test the login. Once that's all in, I can now go back to my schema, because what I need to do is go here and I need to take some actions. I need to recreate the tables, because my tables don't exist in the database. They've been defined in the source code, but they don't exist in the database. So let's go ahead and create those, and I'll hit OK. It'll create tags and tasks. So that now is done. I've got these two things. So if I go to classes, you see I've generated tag, task, and I've got my UIs. If I go to actions, I can go here to this, and let's go to browse, tasks.html, and here you see this looks fairly familiar, but I do have a search option up here, and I've got something over here that looks like something might go there, but we're not sure what. So let's hit new, and we'll just create a new task. So I'm going to say, well, check demos for eSUG. Since I'm going to eSUG next week, I'm going to create that. So I'll say Smalltalk eSUG demos, and check to make sure that my demos work, and we'll call this a high priority, and we'll accept that. Now once that's accepted, you see what this is over here. This is a little tag cloud. So let's create a new one just so you can see what's going on with that. Work ahead on Smalltalk Daily, and we'll give this a simple tag of Smalltalk, and work ahead. We'll accept. And you can see what that did. You see Smalltalk is now bigger because I've got two things in here tagged Smalltalk, whereas only one thing is tagged demos and one thing is tagged eSUG. Now I can do searches on the tag, and it comes up with both of those. I can show all tags, and I can show completed. I can search, so let's search for demos, and you can see that it's using Ajax to fill that in. So it's kind of a neat little application. Now that looks pretty cool. Let's go back over here and take a look at some of the source code. So let's go to task list UI, because that's where the tag cloud is, and that's kind of the interesting thing here. So let's scroll down here, and we'll go to render details on, and you see that I'm rendering general part of the page here. If I go to render actions on, you see that this is where we're putting in our top level things to put up the search box, and you can see the code that specifies that. So let's scroll down a little more. We have the render object completed here, render page sidebar. This is the part where we're putting the tag cloud. Now notice what's happening here. This is where we're searching for all the tags, picking out a minimum size and a maximum size for the tags themselves, and then going through them as a sorted collection, so they'll be in alphabetical order, and then printing them out in the appropriate font size based on the current style. And if we scroll up, you see we have some styling up here. So we have over here on the page sidebar, we have these specifications over here, the page content, we have more stuff here. So you see that we've got the styles listed over here, and down here we figure out how to actually scroll through and do the tag cloud. So interesting little application. You can take a look at this yourself and get a better idea for how it's working. If I go down here to render tag and render tags, you can actually see the printing of all the tag objects over there. So that's about it for today. I've left this as an example. You can go up into the public repository. Again, go back out to the top, go to repositories, and the one we're looking at here is Web Velocity Community. This is one of the demos that was done by our engineering staff, so you can take a look at it, and you can see there are a whole bunch of other ones down here that you can take a look at as well. So, until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.